This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Urban Lounge, located at 241 South, 500 East, right in downtown Salt Lake City. Head on over to their website, theurbanloungeslc.com, connect with them on Twitter and Facebook, and find out about all of the upcoming shows.
Hello, this is Austin Taylor from Utah's second best city, Provo, and you're listening to the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
Showcasing local talent, professionals, and everyday people making Salt Lake City what it is today. It's time for another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
As always, recording out of beautiful downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome to the I Am Salt Lake podcast, episode 115. My name is Chris Hollifield. Welcome to my show. Welcome to the podcast all about Salt Lake City. The website for the podcast is iamsaltlake.com. You can check out all of the previous episodes right there online. Links for iTunes, Stitcher Radio, how to get in touch with me, how to support the show, all right there at iamsaltlake.com. Hey, this episode I sat down with local stand-up comedian Paul Sheffield. He's been doing comedy since 2008. He's been headlining all over the West. He's got a couple of CDs. They're available on iTunes. He's actually going to be doing a couple of shows this upcoming weekend, November 1st and November 2nd at the Wiseguys West Valley. And he's going to be recording a DVD Saturday evening the 2nd. You're going to want to make sure to, if you get your tickets, if they're still available, to check out any of his shows, especially the recording of the DVD. Should be a really great experience. A really great time. Really impressed with this guy. Had a really great conversation with Paul and got to know him a little bit better and kind of find out his history and what got him into comedy. And just, had a really great conversation with him that I'm going to be playing here in just a second. But all of the links are on the show notes, episode 115. You can find that at iamsaltlake.com/115. So with all that being said, why don't you join me now as I talk to Paul Sheffield as he came over to my apartment in downtown Salt Lake City. So I asked people if they had any questions for you before you came on.
Really?
The biggest question is, are you really a co-owner of the Green Bay Packers?
I certainly am. I purchased a stock in the Green Bay Packers last year.
So it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It really is. You really are.
I am co-owner, and I talk about it in my show, actually.
Really?
Yeah. The way the Packers are set up, it's publicly owned. They don't have an owner. And so they issue stock whenever the company, or I guess the company that they are, the team needs money. So they did a stadium renovation a couple years back. So they issued, I think, 2 million shares of stock. And for $250, you could buy a share of stock. Now, every year I get a stockholder's envelope with information on direction of the team and things like that. But to actually be able to be invited to go and vote in your opinion, I guess it is, you have to at least own, I believe it was 200 shares. And no one can own more than 10,000 shares. So that way no one can obtain majority of the team.
So is your goal to eventually own 10,000 shares?
No. No.
Have you been to
Yes.
a Green Bay Packers game?
Yes.
in Wisconsin?
I went to Lambeau Field 2 years ago with my dad. He got a new distributing partner in Milwaukee, and he had 2 tickets he had 2 different games he let my dad pick. We got the Monday night game against the Vikings 2 years ago. It was insane. We were on 11th row.
And you flew out there the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. Did the Lambeau.
Right now.
Yeah, no, the whole 10 yards, right?
The whole 10 yards.
No, it was the most incredible night ever. I mean, it was November. It was cold. The fans were just so inviting. You just walk down the street and they'd offer you food and drinks and they want to talk to you where you're from. It's just incredible.
Did you meet anybody else there from Salt Lake City?
No.
But
They
thought you were crazy for being there from Salt Lake City.
No, there were people from Cali, from Florida. I mean, it's insane. It was normal that there was someone not from Green Bay there, but I didn't meet anyone else from Salt Lake.
Did you get a chance to visit the city at all and tour around?
Honestly, Green Bay is very small. There's about 100,000 people.
I've never been there.
The only building you can see from the freeway is Lambeau Field. And I think a Dick's Sporting Goods. That was all that you really saw. It's just a small town that loves their team. And it is incredible. We did a little bit of a tour of Milwaukee when we flew in and stuff like that, because that's where the distributor was. We had to stop and do some Milwaukee stuff. But just Lambeau, it was an experience. I mean, right next to the stadium are neighborhoods. that literally not even a street away, and people would not even get tickets. They just have parties in their backyard lining facing the stadium and just have their TVs, and the garages are just their own little Lambeau fields. It was incredible.
So it's safe to say that Green Bay is your favorite football team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how
question.
like your whole life or what?
No, since I can
Since you bought share. Since
No.
you bought a share with him.
Well, I grew up in a single home.
Okay.
It was me and my mom till I was about 8 years old, and then my mom remarried. And he is my father. I respect him and think of him as my father, but he was a Packers fan. I didn't really know about football because I grew up with my mom. She wasn't into sports or anything like that. And so I knew about the 49ers and the Cowboys, but I never really knew about football. But he came around, and about when I was 9 years old, I found it as something that we had in common, watching football games on Sunday together. And it was kind of a new interaction with a man in the house and things like that. And that was a time when we were friends. You know what I mean? And
That male bonding.
That male bonding, that connection that we had.
That's awesome.
And so that's really where my fanhood started, was just me and my father. Just, that was our time to be friends.
That's awesome. I've never really gotten into football. I always tell myself, well, maybe this will be the year that I get into football, and I don't know. I have a hard time.
Everyone has their
baseball.
thing.
Baseball is my sport. I love watching baseball.
Really? My dad's a big Pirates fan.
Really?
So he was excited they finally made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I watched for him, but I've just never taken to baseball too much.
Yeah, but it's fun, going to a game. I wish Salt Lake had made it. Anyways, let's get into you.
Okay.
What got you even interested in being a stand-up comedian? Let's start there. Let's go. I mean, when did you? I mean, I guess, you probably were always a funny guy, right? Growing up, or no?
Yeah.
How was it growing up?
People would always
you?
laugh at me. I always was getting laughed at, but it was fun making people laugh. And I always really enjoyed it. And subconsciously, I guess I wanted to be a comedian. I was looking through all of my old memories in a box the other day. And I actually, in 4th grade, we were assigned to write a picture book, and I wrote a joke book. And I didn't even remember that I had done it or anything like that. But I actually, they were just
like a comic book or
no, like they were knock
riddles,
jokes,
stuff like that.
Riddles like that, riddles and jokes, things
Laffy Taffy jokes.
Laffy Taffy jokes. But I would write pictures of the jokes. So like, a priest and a rabbi walk into a bar, jokes like that. Nothing original. It's not like I was writing at 4th grade level or anything like that. But it was just, they asked you to make a picture book, and I made a picture joke book. And so that was pretty interesting. I always wanted to get into comedy. I loved Seinfeld in high school, and I loved Chappelle and things like that. But I never even knew where you got started.
Did your parents growing up? Was your dad? Was he into like comedy?
No, my dad is very into sci-fi.
Really,
very into sci-fi.
Because sometimes growing up, we your parents have the old records and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, my parents not at all. Very serious guy.
Did you grow up here in Utah?
Yes, I did grow up in Salt Lake City, but my mother immigrated from Greece. I'm actually a first generation American. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
when did you get your first time you went to an open mic? I'm assuming that's kind of the typical story with most comedians that had on the podcast. Where'd you go do your first open mic at?
It was in Wiseguys, West Valley back in,
they were doing it out in West Valley back in the day.
2008, I think, is when I started doing it.
So that's about 5 years?
About 5 years.
About 5 years you've been doing stand-up comedy. I mean, talk about the first time you got up on stage. What was that experience like? Do you remember it at all?
I remember it so well. It was so terrifying. First time I ever went into a comedy club, I performed. I'd actually never even been just to watch comedians.
So you didn't even go to psych yourself up for weeks beforehand. You were just like, I'm going to go do stand up.
Yeah. And back then they only did open mic once a month. It wasn't every week. And if you didn't bring enough people to come support you, your name just went into a bowl, and you didn't know if you were going to get up or not.
And it's not that way anymore.
It's not that way anymore. If you get there early enough and you bring like 1 or 2 people, you'll probably get up, or they'll just tell you, sorry, we're full, come back next week. There's no like random drawing during the show and things like that. So I get there, and it's my first time I draw. I didn't go with anyone, of course. And so
you went by yourself?
Went by myself and put my name in the bowl. And I don't know if you are familiar with Marcus, the comedian.
Vaguely.
That was right after he came back from Last Comic Standing, and he was just the guy. Yeah, and I was so starstruck, just like, oh my gosh, it's Marcus. I got to shake his hand. I felt super cool and all that. So they bring all the comics, they draw my name, and I get picked. So it's kind of at random order. Well, sure enough, I go up right after Marcus. So he slays for 15 minutes, just killing it. And then after the host gets up, oh, that was so great. And okay, next up, we got this Paul She. And I'm like, Sheffield. And he's like, yeah, that, and then come on up. So the crowd had just had the best comedian the night go up. And now I'm a first timer. And I was just shaking. And it was just terrible. I just bombed. It was terrible.
Did you get any laughs?
Pity laughs.
Pity
laughs.
Like
yeah.
I feel sorry for that guy.
That was funny. But a couple people came up and said, hey, it wasn't that bad. First time. Good job. But
like, what were your jokes? Like, I mean,
they were all, I was a server at the time. I waited tables. So they were all serving jokes about the people that I hated. It was more rants than jokes, anything. It was just terrible. But it was fun.
So did you go back the next month? I guess it would have been.
We'll see what happened. I felt that I didn't get my just due because there was such a great comedian that came up before me. Of course, you're in denial, like, oh, it would have been better if, even though I was terrible. Well, they get up that night and they say, well, we have an open mic at Applebee's in Orem every Thursday night.
Who told you that?
The host, Rodney Norman.
Okay.
The guy who discovered me, basically. Rodney Norman, I owe him so much. He's been...
Now, what do you mean by discovered you? Like,
well, what happened was, so Rodney was hosting that night, and I go up to him after the show. I heard about the Applebee's open mic. I'm like, hey, can I come? And he kind of just rolled his eyes like, oh, yeah, come if you want. So I was super excited. So the next night, I go to Applebee's in Orem, and it was just another train wreck. Just because, I mean, you go to a restaurant. How many
people were out at, Applebee's?
There were probably like 5 comedians in total. But, I mean, the restaurant, it was just a way to try and get people to come in later. And it was about half full. There were people there, but they don't want to listen to comedy. They're there watching the games. They're eating their food. So Rodney kind of got up to people just to psych them up, just saying, hey, if you get any laugh at all, that's a victory. And of course I ate it again, just terrible. But at least I felt like this was a place away from my comfort zone. Like I didn't worry about,
but it's Utah County too. I mean,
yeah,
that's a different crowd down there. And that was 5 years ago even.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent many of my years down in Utah County. I know how the people are down there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you couldn't even probably say a swear word.
No, they were.
I mean, you had to be clean.
You do have to be clean, but I kind of credit Orem with how I got my tough skin as a comedian, because I went back, started going every week. Like I was determined. And after 3 weeks of just eating it, I got up the 4th time and my hand finally stopped shaking, which I felt like was just a huge victory. And then after that, I went home and just ripped up all my material because it hadn't gotten a single laugh. And at that point I was like, I just want to get a laugh. I want to write a funny joke and then I'll just stop being a comedian. Like, I just want it to be an experiment. It's no big deal. So
it was no you didn't have like any end goal, like I want to be a big time comedian.
I wanted to just prove that I could do it. At that point, I was so frustrated that I was just getting stares that I was just like, I want to just see if I can write a joke and then I'll be satisfied. So I write all these new jokes and I go on my 5th time up and I can't even describe it, Chris. I had people applauding.
Seriously.
I killed it. I mean, I'm not trying to.
No, I mean, I'm sure that made you feel great about
everyone
yourself.
In the crowd was just like stopped eating and was listening. I wrote this bit about Panda Express in public bathrooms, which is on my first album. That's when I wrote it. And it was just the most insane reaction. And Rodney was there and all the other comedians were there and people were coming up saying, oh my gosh, you're going to be on TV, which wasn't true, but they were just the reaction. No one had gotten a reaction like that in the 4 weeks that I'd been. And so Rodney comes up to me and he's like, hey, do you want to come to the comedy club in Orem and start working on the weekends, just doing sets?
The comedy club.
They had a comedy club. They had a Wiseguys in Orem.
Really?
Yeah. It was right by the UVU.
I think someone's mentioned that before on
it's
the
closed
podcast.
Now. It closed a couple years ago.
Well, there was Johnny B's. I knew
it was Johnny B's
years and years ago. Johnny B's down in Provo.
And then Wiseguys bought it and it became
What happened to Johnny Biscuit?
I don't know, man. There was like a legend of what happened. Like everything was going great and then something happened. Because
he was a funny guy from what I remember.
Yeah. I never met him. He was the legend of him. So
anyways, you got up, you killed it, and you were on cloud nine. And what happened from there? I mean,
well, Rodney got me to start coming to the Wiseguys Orem Club, which was the worst club, I guess, in quotations you could say, because the average attendance was like 10 to 20 people, and it was Orem crowd. So very clean, very hard to get him to laugh. But I couldn't get any time in Salt Lake City.
Why couldn't you get any time?
It's so competitive. There were so many comedians at the time. There's only one more.
There was more comedians back then than now? It seems like there's a boatload of them now.
No, there weren't, but there were.
Or there just wasn't a lot of open mics and stuff like that.
There wasn't a lot of open mics. At that time, there wasn't a Trolley Square location open yet.
Okay.
It was just West Valley. So there was only one club in Salt Lake City. And so you're right, there's more comedians now, but there was only one room, one stage. And if an out-of-town comedian comes into town, there's no way a local guy was getting on back then. It had to be someone that the owner knew and the owner thought was funny. Like, it's such a great time in comedy in Salt Lake right now. There's so much more opportunity, and it's so...
Oh, it's blowing up, man.
It's blowing up. It really is. So I, in my mind, was like, you know what? Why fight and just go to the club hoping to get some time when I know I can get time in Orem? So I would drive down every weekend just for 5-minute sets, 10-minute sets for about 8 months.
That's dedication, man.
Yeah. It was...
I mean, especially were you live in Salt Lake or were you...
lived in Salt... I was going to the U of U.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's not far, but it seems far, man. Because my mom lives down there, and whenever I have to drive down there, I'm just like, holy gosh, I don't want to drive down here.
And so just 5 minutes turned into 10 minutes, 10 minutes turned into 15. They started having me hosting shows like the MC. So then I got more time and I got comfortable with just 8 to 12 people. And I started getting laughs. And one day, about 9 months in, the headliner doesn't show up. And Rodney comes up to me and says, we need you to headline. You're the only one with enough experience
to get up and do it. And how was that? I mean, how?
It was great. I did 20 minutes that I'd never done before. I did a full 45 minutes. And I'm not going to say I killed it because I didn't, but I got laughs. I didn't suck. I was worried about not having enough time or freezing on stage, and none of that happened. It was smooth. They got decent laughs. It was probably a C show. It was a C show, but I was worried about failing. So I felt great about it, you know? And so Rodney comes up to me after. He's like, great job. Why don't we actually book you to headline? And so that was the first time I ever got paid. They said, we'll give you half the door. Get all your friends to come.
And that was headlining in Orem.
Headlining in Orem.
When did you first start headlining shows in Salt Lake?
Well, that's what happened is because Rodney was telling the owner in Salt Lake, "Hey, I got this guy. He's not bad. Give him a shot." And the owner was like, "Oh, we'll see. So I booked this headlining gig, and I had not told any of my friends. I didn't want my friends coming. I wanted to make sure.
So none of your friends even knew you were doing stand-up.
They knew.
Oh, okay.
But only the few close ones came. I never really publicized it much. I wanted to make strangers laugh because I don't want my friend's opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm finally like, okay, headlining show, everyone's invited. Let's go. And they had their biggest night of the year when I headlined. We sold it out almost. There was like 120 people in the room, just packed. The owner was super happy. So then Rodney tells the owner, he's like, hey, this guy headlined and he had 120 people from Salt Lake come to Orem.
Drive down there.
I
mean, they're into you.
It was crazy. I mean, so grateful to my fans. They've been when I've needed them, they have totally stepped up and it's been fantastic. And so then I get a text from the owner like, hey, come to my comedy club. We just opened Trolley Square. That's right when they opened it. You got 10 minutes on a Friday night. I want to see what you got. So I go.
Were you nervous?
So nervous. Almost threw up.
Because you were like, I got to impress this guy.
And I honestly have not been nervous since that night. That was the last night I was ever nervous.
Who did you open up for?
His name was
it a bigger name or somebody?
He was in Church Ball. Sina Ahmedson.
I
believe Sina. Okay. I can't remember his last name, but it was Sina. That was my first opening gig in
Church
Salt Lake.
Ball.
He was in Church Ball, one of those.
One of like the Mormon films.
Mormon films, but
was he funny?
He was funny, yeah. He was a good comedian. But
how many people were at that show? Probably
80, 90. I wasn't used to it, and I did great. Like it was
a lot of fans come out and stuff like that.
I didn't tell anyone.
You didn't tell anybody that you were doing it,
just in case,
because you didn't want to get nervous.
Exactly. I was already the owner's coming. I had a few close friends. That was it. Yeah, but I went up, did my 10 minutes, got great laughs. Probably about a B. I'd rate it, which was great. And the owner said, "Okay, you can start being one of my openers." And that's how I finally got into the Salt Lake crowd. And so I started opening in Salt Lake, and he would give me Thursday and Tuesday nights at Trolley Square, where you just get half the door at $5 a ticket. And then I would tell the people to come back, and I would never had a show under 60 or 50.
Nice.
And so then one thing led to another. I started getting some weekend shows in Salt Lake. And then finally I got to Ogden, which is my favorite room. I love.
Why is Ogden your favorite room?
Oh man, people will just show up and they love laughing. There's no expectation. They just have a great time. Yeah. I headlined Ogden last weekend, and I love Ogden. It's just a great room.
How many headlining shows have you done? I mean,
man. Well, I do out of state rooms now too. I probably.
So you even venture outside of Utah?
Yeah. I do the Dave Tribble is an out of state booker. So I've headlined in Nevada, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, all over the place. Montana, some good rooms there. But
how often do you go out of state?
I try to do an out of state show probably every 3 months. I try to make.
Comedy's not your full time gig now, is it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're getting there. Hopefully one day.
Yeah. But how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
28.
28. So you're still young, man. 28. Wow. So you started comedy at the perfect time.
I guess I did. I feel like I started super late, but
you feel so. Wait, so you were what, like 22-ish? 24 when you started?
I started 2 weeks after my 24th birthday.
Okay.
So.
But see, I just talked to Travis Tate, and he was talking. I mean, he's a little bit older, and
well, there's a saying in the comedy world that you aren't a comedian until you've been doing it 5 years.
And that's what they all say.
But the more that I do it, the more I agree with it.
Okay.
I feel like, especially this last year, I've grown and gotten so much more precise with my comedy that I feel like I'm finally starting to starting my stride. Yeah. And I went through a phase probably year 1 and 2 where I got pretty cocky unnecessarily. And I got a couple of humbling experiences on the road where you eat it and then you have to realize, you're not that good.
What's your most embarrassing moment? Do you have any really embarrassing moments that stick out?
I have one. I have one really bad one.
Gosh, I can't believe that happened.
I like to do crowd interaction. That's when you come to a Paul Sheffield show, there's going to be crowd interaction. I love working with the crowd. It doesn't throw me off necessarily. And if you heckle it,
you encourage it.
I don't encourage it, but I will make you regret it. You know what I mean? Like,
you hear that, listeners? If you go check them out,
you will be, if you want to be part of the show, you will be, but you might not be happy after. I love the hecklers. I don't get scared on stage at all. But this one time, this lady was just sloshed on the front row. She wouldn't let me get through.
Was this here in Utah?
It was in Ogden, actually.
Ogden, okay.
So this was not a good night, but I was done with her about 10 minutes into my set. She was finishing jokes and screaming things out. She wasn't even trying to be rude. She just had no idea what was going on. She was just gone, incoherent, drunk. And she had a tattoo over her left breast. And I made some sort of a comment where I'm like, I'm not going to take any more garbage from this lady who has a tit or a tit tat. And everyone kind of laughed at it. I'm just like, that's a really classy gesture. At least we have an excuse to look at your breasts. And the lady, she says,
did she have good boobs?
No,
they weren't.
She was probably 45, 50. And this is where,
that doesn't matter.
They were struggling, but they were there.
They were struggling.
They were there. And she says, "You asshole, that is over my heart, not on my breast." I'm like, well, what a stupid place to put a tattoo, lady. And she hits me back with, "It's a tattoo of my dead daughter."
Oh, man.
And the crowd the energy just sucked out. And I that was the only time I've ever apologized.
Like, was it like a corpse or something?
No, it was just a picture of a portrait of face of her daughter that died.
But she wasn't like a zombie. Like,
no. It was just like it was a memorial, but I can only see half. Oh man. And I apologized and I didn't talk to her for the rest of the night. It was
you're like, whenever you want a free show,
that was literally, yeah, for real. She didn't come back.
Free show for life.
I haven't seen her back. That was literally the only time I have apologized on stage.
Well, I could imagine. I mean,
it was bad.
Yeah, that I could imagine. But you didn't know. You didn't know. You've traveled outside of you. You've performed a lot. You probably met some really awesome comedians, right? Is there anybody, like, who's some of the most memorable acts that you've got to perform with? You're living your dream, man.
I've gotten to open for some really great comedians that a lot of people don't know about. Jay Larson is fantastic. He's Boston based, but he works out of LA now. And Godfrey, he's out of New York. Dwayne Perkins, he comes through Salt Lake. Yeah. Fantastic. Those are just.
Do you get to hang out with them, and did they give you feedback at all?
A lot of the times, a big popular hangout is go to Village Inn or IHOP after and just hang. And when you host a show here in Salt Lake City, when it's not your show and you're hosting for a bigger guy that comes through, a lot of the time the owner will have you drive them. from the hotel to the club. And then after the club, they want to go eat. They want to go do something.
So you've gotten to drive some of these guys around?
Oh, yeah.
Pick them up in your own little car?
Pick them up in my little Corolla, and we go out and we do our thing. And they're really nice, down to earth.
What's the strangest request you've ever got? I mean, I'm sure some of them have some errands to run, right? I mean, or is that is that fair to say? Or like,
not necessarily strange.
I gotta stop and get some cigars or something, I
had one comedian who insisted on going and getting coffee 5 minutes before the show, and we were 20 minutes away from the club, and just 7-Eleven coffee, or no,
what?
We went to Beans and Brew. He needed a nice cup of coffee, and I was just like, well, why didn't you just get that before? You've had all day. But you don't say anything, you just go get it. And we showed up late. The problem is, as the host, you're the first one on, so you have to be on time. So when you bring the headliner, but he doesn't go on for 40 minutes.
Well, yeah, but you're like, hey, he needed the coffee.
He needed the coffee.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's like, what are you supposed to say? No, you can't have your coffee?
There's times when there's ladies involved, and they'll just say, hey, I'm okay. You don't need to drive me home. Those aren't, I mean, it's not strange, but it's...
Oh, like going back to the hotel with ladies.
Yeah, sometimes they find their own ride home, which good on them, right?
Yeah, do you blame them, right?
Right on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would you like to, who would be your dream to work with?
I would. I would. There are few the things I wouldn't do to open for Jim Gaffigan. I love
brilliant
Jim.
comedian.
Brilliant comedian. So just phenomenal. He's flawless. I also really like Mike Birbiglia. Did you see that? What was that movie he did? Didn't he do a movie, Sleepwalk with Me? Did he do that? Didn't he do that movie? I don't know any movies he's been in, but my boyfriend's girlfriend. Maybe I'm totally wrong with that one. And I just love it. There's a huge list I have of people I'd love to work with. But one day.
What do you think of the local comedy scene now? I mean, you've been in it for 5 years. I mean, do you think it's pretty cool right now?
It's fantastic. It's never better. It's never been better. I mean, they open mics just have so many new faces now. Just people trying to do their thing and try and get up and
they're doing it at Trolley Square instead of
every week.
Wiseguys. Yeah, I mean, I knew that, but obviously if a listener didn't know that,
definitely.
Go. And what time does that start? If people listen,
it starts at 7:30, but you need to be there by 6:30 to get your name on the list.
But if you're going to watch, you just go at 7:30.
Just show up I would show up 15 minutes early to get a good seat.
Do you still go do open mics?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like regularly, weekly, monthly? How often do you try to get out to open mics? Huh?
I would say monthly. Yeah. It's interesting, Chris, because now that I get time on the weekends and I do headlining shows and I don't like to do open mic a lot because I want to give other people a chance. I don't want to walk up and say, oh, I need time and I want to do open mic, because that's the only time they get to do time. And I feel bad literally just walking in and taking their time. So I only go when I'm promoting a show or I have a new joke I really want to try on a brand new crowd, but that's their venue now. I can open on the weekend and get 15 minutes and I can do my stuff then. I don't necessarily want to take their time. I want more good comedians in Salt Lake City. I don't view a good comedian as competition. I view it as,
well, it introduces, say somebody finds out about them, then they find out about you.
It's not even that. It's, to sustain a good comedy room, you need 6 months worth of comedians. Even the best comedian can only do a room twice a year at best. So you want great comedians so that way the reputation of the club is good. So that way when you come, there's always good traffic. You know what I mean? So anytime there's a good comedian, I invite it. I want it because that just means the quality of the club gets better and the reputation gets better. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I love when a good comedian just does well, and new and upping comedians just kill it. It's fun to see.
I could imagine. Well, let's talk about this episode's going to be up before your big show November 1st and November 2nd. Is that correct? At the West Valley Wiseguys?
Yes.
7:30, 9:30 both nights. Mm-hmm. But the magic part at night, share that. What's the big thing you're going to be doing?
So we're doing a DVD recording, and I don't have enough money to record all 4 shows. That would just be $10,000 just with.
So I mean, you got high tech equipment.
I'm teamed up with Rusty Sidewinder Media. They are producing the show. We're going to have 4 cameras in the room. We're going to have a steady cam moving in and out. We're going to have zoom ups, close ups. We got a camera just for the audience and audience reactions. Like this,
So you want to pack that room?
We want to pack that room. The actual recording is going to be the 9:30 November 2nd show.
What if you totally screw that one up, man?
I'm not going to screw it up. I'm not worried about that.
You'll be warmed up by then.
Exactly.
Fourth
show.
You'll be warmed up.
I'll have 3 other shows to work out all the kinks. I did Ogden just last week. Got all my material ready to go. We've already sold like 75 tickets for it. I have no doubt it's going to sell out. We're going to have. I mean,
so this is your first DVD that you've done?
First DVD. I mean,
have you recorded any CDs, albums? Like, can people, I mean, even listeners, can they somehow obtain any of your albums now?
I actually have 2 CDs already that I've produced. They're called Sheffield Had It Worse and Married to the Mic. They are on iTunes. So you can download them on iTunes. I also have partnered with Grey Whale. And if you want a hard copy, you can go to Grey Whale and pick those up.
That's awesome. I love Grey Whale.
I love Grey Whale. Oh, they're fantastic.
So you can get your CD there and pick it up there and iTunes. What made you decide to do a DVD? I mean, that's big time, man.
A DVD's special because it's not just hearing the laughter, it's seeing the crowd. And I'm really trying to get into like comedy clubs outside of Utah. And this is something that you can send to them and show them what's going on. Cause I mean, you can't fake the people in the room when you see them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, you can put laugh tracks. Not that I've ever done that or anything, but this is just so much more in your face. This is what I can do. And it's some jokes need to be viewed as well as heard. Like the physical comedy, I got all over the stage. I'm a very physical, animated comedian, and I felt like my jokes on the CD weren't getting their just due. And so, and just, it's also a way to force myself to write new material. I don't get stale. A lot of the jokes that I'm going to do this weekend, I'll be retiring. And then I'm done with them because now I have them. If you want to listen to them, here they are on a DVD. I'm also it's going to be a DVD CD combo, so you can have it on the CD and the DVD.
Now, are you going to actually have a physical DVD, or are you going to offer like digital downloads, how some comedians have done that?
I'm going to do both.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to do the digital downloads, man.
I've already pre-sold probably about 30 copies of the DVD.
Nice.
My fans want a physical DVD.
Well, I'm going to definitely, I mean, I'll have to check it out for sure.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be able to see some of the jokes I felt needed to be seen as well as heard. They didn't get their just due just on the CD. And it's also going to be the longest show I've ever done. It's going to be a 70-minute set. I've gotten accustomed.
Why is it going to be the long, just for the DVD?
For the DVD. I feel like a DVD, what's the point of
each, like the 7:30 show is going to be 70 minutes and 9:30, or just the DVD?
Just the DVD show at 9:30. The other will be full 60 minutes. I'm a headliner. I don't do less than 60. I feel like the audience deserves a full hour.
Yeah, you want to give them their money's worth.
Yeah, definitely. But there's 2 bits that are on my second CD, my iPod bit and my movie theaters bit, that are so physical that I decided I wanted to put them on the DVD. Everything else will be new, not on the CDs, but those 2 bits, I felt I really wanted to get them to be seen, not just heard. So that's the extra 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
So the other 60 minutes, the other 3 shows will have the new 60 minutes, but I'm just adding those 2 bits to the actual DVD recording.
Do your parents come out to your shows?
They live in Phoenix now.
Oh, so they can't even come out to your shows.
My mom's flown out a couple of times. They've been very supportive. They're very great, but they just can't make. My sister actually will be coming. She goes to college in Idaho, so she's driving down, which is pretty cool. But when they can,
do you get nervous though when your mom's in the audience?
I have not gotten nervous since performing for that owner.
Yeah,
I promise you, never. It's just something happened.
It's in your blood now, man.
Yeah, it's second nature. I honestly don't feel like myself until I'm on stage. And I feel
You're at home.
I'm at home. It's
where would you like to go with your comedy career? I mean, where would you like to see it go for you?
Oh man, I've written a screenplay. Okay. I've also written a treatment for a sitcom. I would love to somehow get into that. I don't think I'm there yet. Everything in its stride, but I would love to do it full time.
Do you feel you have to move out of Utah? I talk to a lot of comedians that feel, hell, I gotta leave Utah. You can't make it here.
Everyone has a different path as far as what they need to do to make it. I have not closed the door on moving outside of Utah, but I don't feel like I need to yet. Does that make sense?
I mean, even your DVD that you're doing, I mean, you're getting it out there. People are buying. I mean, I don't see why you have to move out. people do it. I mean, I'm not in the stand-up scene, so I don't know how it is, man.
People do it. They come back. They go. They come. I've narrowed it down. I don't know where I want to go, but I think what I'm going to do is after I finish this DVD, I'm going to go through with some writers and editors to edit my screenplay and get some people to read it. And I want to see if it's worth pursuing. Yeah. If it is, I may have to move outside of Utah. If not, I'll probably stick around for a little bit longer. But
what do you, I mean, you've lived here pretty much your whole life, and I ask everybody that comes on the show, what do you like about Salt Lake? I mean, obviously besides the comedy scene, what are some of your favorite things about Salt Lake City?
Man, I love the snow. I really do.
You're a snowboarder, skier?
I do snowboard. I love the mountains. I like the location of Salt Lake City, first of all. It's very central. You're 5 minutes from, you're 5 minutes from Vegas. It's not
oh, shit. What road are you taking there?
I gotta tell you, I got a great car. It gets me there quick. No, I just feel like you're so close to so many things. Like if you want to go to Vegas, it's not that far. If you want to go to Colorado and Denver and do something there, it's not that far.
Well, there's a lot of direct flights too out of Salt Lake City.
There's so much access. And I feel like as far as comedy, I like if I move to another city, it's probably going to be Chicago.
Really?
The central city, you're so much closer to other gigs. Like if I go to LA, it's going to be so far getting to Colorado. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, plus, I mean, it's oversaturated in LA, man.
It's way oversaturated. I would
comedians.
love to go to Chicago and do comedy.
Have you, I mean, I'm assuming you've been to Chicago.
I haven't.
You haven't even been to Chicago?
I've heard so many great things. I'm going next year to scout it out.
I mean, I've driven through. I've never really explored the city.
But I like the Utah mentality of it. I like the polarization of, you have the very strong right wing, but then you have also, there's a left wing presence that's really,
it's growing.
It's growing. And so like the polarization gives you a lot of different types of people that when they come to the club, you can really get a feel. I don't do Utah jokes. I don't do Mormon jokes. Why is that? Why?
I'm
just over them.
Because I mean, everybody does them.
Plus you do a Mormon joke in Salt Lake City, people are going to laugh because they get it. But why work on a joke so hard when I go to Kansas City? They're not going to get it nearly as the same. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a Mormon joke telling comedian. I just want to be a comedian that's from Salt Lake City. So I don't do any Mormon jokes. I feel like they're overused and they're not going to help me get where I want to go. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
So I just want people to know that I'm a Salt Lake comedian.
Would you like to see anything different about Salt Lake City? I mean, anything. I mean, even down to like a something move, like, baseball team, or would you like to see a certain thing change or certain laws? I mean, is there anything you'd like to see different about Salt Lake?
I wish that people in Salt Lake City would unify.
Absolutely, man.
I really feel like the people who are super Mormon hate the people that aren't, and there's judgment there, but at the same time I feel like there's that same judgment that repels back the other way. And I feel like religion is such a big topic in Salt Lake City, and I feel like it needs to
stop, man.
Needs to stop. I feel like we need to unify as Salt Lake City. We're not going to get anywhere when we're fighting each other internally. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I feel like you shouldn't be.
We could accomplish so much more.
I don't feel like you should base your friendship on someone based on their religious background. I have so many friends that are agnostic and atheist and Catholic and Mormon and Jehovah's Witnesses. And
have you seen that happen? Like people being like, I can't be friends with you because you're not Mormon.
Yeah.
Really?
And people, I can't be friends with you.
I don't associate with a lot of Mormons. No offense to anybody. I just don't really have a lot of Mormon friends.
But I see it the same way too. I can't associate with you because you are a Mormon.
Which is stupid.
Yeah. And I just feel like...
Because they can party like the rest of us, you know what I'm saying?
No denying that. But
they just like to party with root beer.
Yeah. No, Diet Coke.
Well, now they can drink Diet Coke, right?
Diet Coke.
Now they can drink the Diet.
But I just would like to see Salt Lake just become more a little unified.
Yeah.
If I could.
It's growing though, man.
And the smog of January. If we could get rid of that.
Oh, I don't think we're ever going to. That's just going to get worse, man. That
just
inversion.
Worse.
Any favorite local restaurants or eateries that you enjoy eating at, or that you would recommend? It's kind of
the Bayou is insane.
I love all their beers on tap, man. I don't know if you're a beer drinker at all.
I think it's the biggest.
I think so. I mean, the ridiculous amount of beers on tap there.
I'm not a drinker.
Okay.
My biological dad kind of ruined that for me. I just didn't want to. I saw what it did.
Didn't want to play around with it, man.
I just didn't.
I can respect that.
It's a personal thing.
See, I love a good beer, and there's some delicious beers here in Salt Lake.
After this, go out, and if you had a beer, we'd still sit and talk and have just a great time. Like I don't. If it's what you wouldn't judge me. No, I don't. I know there's a lot of people that at all my clubs, people are drinking, and I'm totally okay with it. You make your own decision. Yeah. I've made the decision not to drink just because I've had a very negative experience with it at a very young age.
Yeah,
and other things like that. So I just decided it's not for me, but I don't think of anyone differently. You know what I mean? That's where I'm talking about the unity. Like just because someone has a different opinion or a different lifestyle than you doesn't mean they can't be a good person and you can't show kindness to them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But that's just me.
So the Bayou, any other recommendations?
Bayou is fantastic. Oh man, I've gotten, I'm a big Crown Burger guy. I love the Crown Burger.
Crown Burger is delicious, man.
So good. And the pie. I went to the U. I'm a Ute guy, so I'm not the pie in Fort Union and the suburbs. I'm talking about the cellar pie right next to the U. Just ridiculous. And also Woody's Drive-In. Woody's Drive-In has the best shakes. It's on 9th and gosh, I don't even know. I just know how to get there. But it's on Woody's Drive-In, the best chocolate cookie dough shakes, which are my thing. So
awesome. Did you graduate from the U then?
Graduated from the U in business marketing.
Nice. What year?
10.
Nice. So do you still hit up any like football games up there?
Yeah, I was at the Stanford game.
Really?
Actually, I'm a sports fan.
Yeah.
There's no denying it. I like this, but I like video games. I got my nerd side. I'm a well-rounded guy. I like a lot of different things. So I pre-ordered the Xbox One, but I also have NFL Sunday tickets. So
share something about yourself that people wouldn't expect from you.
Something that they wouldn't expect.
A guilty pleasure.
Oh man, I really enjoy going to Wendover. I don't know if that's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, well, you know.
Again, the Central Salt Lake. I love a good poker game. I'm a big Texas Hold'em guy, I guess. Okay.
See, I wouldn't have known to ask you that question.
I love my Texas Hold'em. I love it.
Pretty good at it?
I think so.
Do you go to Wendover and win big or what?
No, I do it just for fun.
Yeah.
I go to Wendover and sit at the tables and, it relaxes me. I put my earbuds in.
How often do you go out there?
Not often.
I was going to say, look me up, man. I want to go out. Let's
As far as Wendover, I don't go very often, but me and my friends.
Do you take the fun bus or you drive?
No, I drive. Yeah. No, I don't have time for the fun bus.
Dude, the fun bus. You can get drunk before you get there.
But I don't drink.
Well, that's right. You don't drink. Well, I do.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm
You can drink while I drive. And then we can go 110 and be there half the time.
Have you performed in Wendover at all?
They don't have a room. But I've performed in Winnemucca.
Well, no, they got like Bill Cosby's been out there and stuff.
That's the Peppermill Hall.
The Peppermill Hall.
I'm not quite there yet. That's why I'm doing the DVD.
Okay.
But no, me and my friends, we'll do just Hold'em nights and stuff. And I love them. I'm a sucker for that. So I guess if I had a guilty pleasure, that would be it.
I gotcha.
I like that.
Well, cool. No, I appreciate you. I mean, do you have any other shows after the first and the second that you care to promote, or is there like anything after that?
I will actually be doing a Provo show in November, probably the 16th. Okay. And then I'm actually doing Winnemucca, Nevada on November 8th.
So my Winnemucca listeners.
Yeah. If you got a Winnemucca listener, I will be there Thursday, November.
Where is Winnemucca?
It is between Reno and Elko.
Okay.
So.
And is it a pretty big crowd?
That is one of my favorite rooms.
Really?
Probably only 40 to 50 people, but it's attached to the casino. And I just I've had fun shows there.
Wow.
I love Rock Springs and Winnemucca are probably my two. And Billings.
I've heard Rock Springs is pretty ridiculous, man.
Everyone's been through there. It's a fun one. But do you have a website? Or no? I don't have a website.
Wait. Let's stop there. So you're going to be putting a DVD out, but you don't have a website. Come on, Paul.
I have a Facebook comedian page.
What if Facebook was to shut down tomorrow? How would you interact with your fans?
I got to do it. I know. I have a strong YouTube page.
Come on, it's like $2 to register your name, man.
It's true. It's true.
But you're putting a DVD out, but you don't have a website. Come on.
No, I got to do it. I'm not. See, here's another thing people don't know. I'm technologically.
So you got to have other people do all that for you. I hear you. I hear you. I mean, I'm just such a cheap ass. I got to figure out how to do things myself. You know what I mean?
If you can help me make a webpage, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. I don't know. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But I have noticed I go through CD Baby, and they have taken care of all the distribution for my digital downloads and things like that.
So you could go onto Spotify and listen to your...
I'm on Spotify.
Yeah. So
I haven't noticed any sort of a drop off or any sort of a need for a web page.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know how it is. I mean, maybe you don't need one in the comedy world. I don't know, man.
Not yet necessarily. I don't really have tour dates to announce yet. I put it all on Facebook. I put it all on Twitter. And
what are those links? So, and I'll put them on the show notes on the website. But ramble them off really quick so people listening.
Paul Sheffield Comedian is my Facebook comedian page. I'm also P Chef Comedian on Twitter, Greek Chef on Instagram, and my YouTube page is the Paul Sheffield.
Okay.
Because there was another one that I had a fight with.
So you're on all the social medias connected, and you'll post about shows on there, I'm sure,
Definitely.
so people can.
I even sometimes give away free tickets on my comedian page on Facebook. They happen. They happen from time to time.
It does happen.
So if you are there, and I do little trivia questions.
So do you have like a fan page on Facebook?
Yeah,
or just
I have a fan page, Paul Sheffield Comedian. I have
Okay.
a fan page. And so I'll give away tickets every once in a while to a show, do little deals like that and stuff like that. So it's always good to just be there. I'm not a crazy poster like every day. I'll put something up like once a week.
So you're not stuck to your iPhone or your smartphone or whatever. Just God, I gotta get something up.
I'm there, but I'm not in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, I'd been doing an album every year. I did a CD in 2010 and 2011, and I finally just kind of sat back and I was like, I don't want to do another one until I'm definitely ready. So my fans about a year ago started getting upset. Like, when's the next one coming out? When's the next coming out? And I'm like, I want to do this one right. I want to do this one. Not that the other ones weren't right, but I want to take my time and make sure I just have the best show possible, and that I have it now. And
that's going to happen on November 1st and 2nd, man.
If you want to come to the actual recording show, I would get your tickets in advance because it will sell out. If you want to just come out and check me out on the 1st or the 2nd, it's going to be fun too. So,
and I'm assuming it's going to be the same set.
It's the same. It will be the same. Yeah. I will say this: I never do the same set on different weekends. I pick a set for a weekend and then it's always different. Cause now that I'll bring back old jokes every once in a while. I'm always trying new stuff. Yeah. But that's one thing that my fans like and demand is they want something different every time. So this is your only chance to see this show.
Yeah. And be part, I mean, like you said, there's going to be cameras in the audience. So you got your chance to be famous.
You can be on the DVD.
Be on the DVD. Well, anything else you want to add, Paul, before we close? Thank you so much for coming and sitting down and being part of the podcast. I mean, seriously, I mean, you're up to some awesome stuff right here, Salt Lake City, born and raised, right? Yeah.
No, just shout out to all my fans and thanks so much for your support and doing this DVD for you guys. I'm super excited to be here and come on out.
Many thanks goes out to Paul Sheffield for coming on this episode of the podcast. I had a great conversation with him, got to know him a little bit better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to that. I'd love to know your feedback on this episode or any of the other episodes of the I Am Salt Lake podcast that you might have listened to. The voicemail line is always open, 385-202-5926. Give me a call. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking of these episodes. I'm enjoying putting them out there. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking of them. Hopefully you guys are getting the chance to get to know some of the awesome people here in Salt Lake City that are making the city what it is today. IamSaltLake.com, again, is the website. You can connect with me on Facebook and Twitter, all under the name I Am Salt Lake. Try to keep you guys up to date on things going on in and around Salt Lake City, Utah. For those of you that have been following me on Instagram, yes, I'm back. I'm taking pictures again. Kind of had the itch to get out and take some pictures. You can follow me on Instagram at Chris Holifield. That's ChrisHolifield. Been posting some really cool pictures of Salt Lake City. Try to get kind of some of the areas that people aren't as familiar with. You know, we tend to just drive down the same roads and take the same ways home from work and the same paths, and so often things go unnoticed. And hopefully I'm trying to show that through the Instagram feed. So make sure you're following me on Instagram. Hopefully you're enjoying those photos on there. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be posting pictures of this beautiful city. A little bummed out though. The days are getting shorter, so it's going to be a little tougher for me to get out and take pictures. I'm going to try to get out on the weekends and take some, keep that Instagram feed going for you guys. You guys seem to enjoy that. So love to connect with you on Instagram if I haven't yet, so feel free to follow me on there, and I'll connect with you guys on there. I'm here Mondays and Thursdays with a brand new episode, so make sure to subscribe in iTunes. 5-star reviews are very much appreciated in iTunes. That helps boost our ratings, gets the podcast exposed to more people, and then more people check out the show. Also, wanted to quickly mention there's a few ways you can support the podcast. Head on over to iamsaltlake.com/support, and you can find out all of the many ways to help keep this podcast afloat. Appreciate everybody that has been supporting the show. Very much appreciated. Another podcast, I know I just recently had them on the show recently, the Chip and Jay Show. Really great guys. I'm actually going to be on another future episode of that. I'll keep you guys up to date and posted when that does get posted, but make sure to check out their show, the Chip and Jay Show. And I'll put the links on the show notes for this episode. That way you can make sure to follow them as well. I think that's going to do it for this episode. A lot of really cool things going on here in Salt Lake City. Too many things to mention. I'll be back again on Monday with a brand new episode. And until then, get out and enjoy the city.